So the warm-up video, my saxophone warm-ups are something that I do every single time I pull my saxophone out. It's just a quick warm-up that gets your fingers moving, gets your air flowing, and makes it sure that your whole saxophone works across the entire range of the instrument. I go through every single major scale and I play the entire range of the instrument. It's called the full range scale, where you play as high as you can on the instrument and as low as you can. We don't worry about stopping every time we get to the beginning or end of the scale, meaning the note of the scale that we're talking about. So if I was playing a C scale, I wouldn't just go C up to C and stop. I would go C all the way as high as my instrument can go, which in the case of the C scale would be a high F on the saxophone. And then I go all the way down as far as I can within the C scale, which the lowest note on the saxophone that I would be able to play is my low A on the Bari Sax. Altos and tenors, sorry, don't have that. So that's pretty easy. And so then for every single scale, I do a long tone where I start kind of medium and then I try and get as loud as I can on that note and then slowly get as quiet as I can on that note. So that gets the air really moving through the instrument, warming it up, getting it to a better temperature than whatever temperature it was out of the case. And then after I do a long tone, then I will play the full range scale, like I just explained, up and down on the saxophone for that scale. And I do it slurred because for me, it's just a matter of getting my fingers moving, getting the air flowing. And if you tongue each note, then that's going to kind of stop the fluidity of your air a little bit. And so for a warm-up, I like just slurring it all. And you don't have to do it super fast. If you're not very good at your scales yet, that's okay. You can do it as slow as you want. And then after I finish doing my scale, I do an arpeggio full range. Once again, not starting just on the root of the scale, but instead going as high and as low as I can on my instrument with that scale. So for example, a C arpeggio, I would start middle C, C, E, G, C, and then I'd go high E, then back down C, G, E, C, G, E, low C, and that is as low as I can go on my saxophone. And then I go back up to middle. So with the scale and the arpeggio, you start kind of middle, go as high as you can, go as low as you can, and come back up to middle. That's what the full range scales and arpeggios look like there. And it's great to practice your arpeggios because that comes up so much in music. And so knowing your scales, knowing your arpeggios, those are really important. And a helpful way for me to remember which scale I do next, so I start on the C scale, and then I just go around the circle of fifths. And so I go in the direction of sharps to begin with. So I go to 1 sharp, 2 sharp, 3 sharp, 4 sharp, 5 sharp. And then in my brain somewhere I switch into flats and just come all the way back up around. And an easy way to remember which scale is supposed to come next, if you can't quite think of the circle of fifths in your head, is it's whatever that note that you play before your final note of the arpeggio is going to be the next scale starting note, okay? So it's the fifth note of your scale, which in the arpeggio you'll play da-dum, and that's going to be 5-1, and then you'll just start back down on that 5 for your next scale. Hopefully that made sense. Makes sense to me. Shoot me a message if you have any questions on that and I can help explain that a bit more. And then very last of all, after I have finished doing my long tone followed by my scale and arpeggio on every single scale in the circle of fifths, then last of all, I do a chromatic scale all the way up, full range of my instrument, all the way down, full range, back up to middle. I like to start on a G. That works out for me. I start on a G, but pick whatever note you want that's kind of in the middle range of your instrument and go all the way up, all the way down, and back up to that note. And chromatic scales are really important for you to know as well. So that's my warm-up exercise. If you want to have a paper copy of it so that you can read it instead of just trying to do it all by memory, you can message me and I can get that sent to your email, and you can have the PDF of that. That's it. Happy warm-ups. Happy practicing.